Lights, camera, action. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're viewing from. This is Laura Thompson, your friendly, fabulous, feisty, fierce, and phenomenal creator and CEO of TAAN TV, the African American Network, where we have a local feel with a global reach, and you're tuned into the coffee break. And I haven't been in front of the camera in a little bit doing the coffee break, but we have a very special guest, and I just felt compelled to bring her on to the coffee break. We have a phenomenal guest today. She's a producer and an author. She's a new author. She's produced Set It Off Senior Style, which is what we're going to talk about today. This is an exclusive show that she produced for TAAN TV, and this is the second season, and they have a hot season coming up, and so we wanted to make a special announcement. So Dr. Charlene Smith is our guest for today, and she is, look at her, she looks beautiful, right?
Thank you.
So how you doing, Charlene?
I'm doing fantastic today. How are you?
I'm doing good. I like your background and everything, and it looks very nice.
Thank you. That's my new book.
Okay. So we're going to talk about that a little bit in a little bit. So we're going to be talking about your second season, Set It Off Senior Style. And so before we get started in talking about that, it's going to be premiering, this week coming up. So, but before we talk about that, I'd like for the audience to know a little bit about you, who you are, what you do, why you do it, and all of that good stuff.
All right. Well, I am Dr. Charlene Smith, and I am a dating relationship coach. I am a senior dating relationship coach. I am an author and producer. I am also retired from federal service, and I've spent the last 40 years of my life being in the counseling or prevention education field. And this new chapter of my life, I've been exploring and learning things about being a senior citizen in America. And so we started this show so that we could talk about the issues that face seniors, everything. We talk about everything. And the first episode is muy caliente. So I hope that people will tune in, because it's everything that seniors go through: adult children, grandchildren, great grandchildren, having relationships, illnesses, how to stay healthy, nutrition, finances. We talk about everything because in this new chapter of our life, we want to get it right. We want to enjoy this chapter. As they say, we're on the downside. We probably lived more than we're going to live. So we're going to make the best of it as seniors. Well, when you become mature, people call you a mentor, and that's because you've lived a lot of life. But I've also found that my peers also like to talk and enjoy exploring and researching things and helping each other get through this stage, because nobody gives us a book as we go through these different stages. And so as I started talking with more of my mostly girlfriends, some of my guy friends too, but mostly my girlfriends, we're like, there's some things, since we're talking to each other and we're sharing this information, other people may want to do it also. And there's also been a little itch in my life about doing TV and doing creative things. And so this kind of helps me to help others, and it helps me to do my creative side. And we're getting good feedback from the first season that what we're talking about is helpful. It's down to earth information, and something that some of it people may not want to ask the questions about, but we give that information, and we've been feeling very happy about the results with it.
You're tuned into the coffee break, and we're here speaking with Dr. Charlene Smith, and we'll be right back after we take our station break.
So these sandwiches really $5?
$5, yes.
Can I get them for $4? I don't want these.
This is a great time to talk about relationships and finding your soulmate, because today it's a little chilly outside. It's like
Yeah.
40 degrees, and the wind chill factor is about 20 degrees. So I wanted to ask you, I was thinking before I came on, what is the best time to start uh, pursuing a relationship or getting prepared for a relationship and finding your soulmate?
Well, you do want to be prepared for it. A lot of us have had relationships in the past, being of this age and this stage of life. There's a lot of people out there that are hurt and closed off. So I would say if they're starting to feel like maybe they want to find a companion, maybe not a spouse, but a companion, there's all kinds of relationships that one can pursue, but that they prepare themselves. And the book is called Senior Seeking Soulmate, the Master Plan for Finding Meaningful Companionship. Because at this age, marriage is not necessarily the goal of the relationship, but the companionship is. So, when is the best time to start? Today, start working on yourself because I'm going to have a course, and in that, we're going to do a lot of self assessment. Matter of fact, that starts on the 28th of November. We do a lot of self assessment. We look at the desires of your heart. We've learned a lot of lessons about relationships. So, what are the desires of your heart? For example, for me, I wanted someone that would invite me to church early on, meeting them, then early on, invite me to church and introduce me to people, be happy that I'm there with them. And that happened without me saying anything. So it's not about are they tall, 6 foot tall, tall, dark, and handsome kind of stuff. It's about the character and the values and about you being the partner that you desire. So if you want
Right.
someone that's financially secure, then you need to get financially secure. If you like
Wow.
traveling and you want somebody to travel, then you need to travel, whether it's by yourself. You might find that companion on the trip. Who knows?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's absolutely awesome. So, what can people expect? You've got a new episode and a new season coming up for Set It Off Senior Style, and the first episode is going to be sizzling hot. So, what can people expect from this new season?
We talk about everything. We don't hold anything back. Do you want me to say what the first episode is, or do they need to tune in and see?
Well, you might want them to tune in. If you can give
Yeah.
them a little hint without telling them.
Well, it's one of those subjects that we don't talk about and we don't hold anything back. And you will learn something new because even in the process of us talking about the things we're talking about, I learned a whole lot. And it's going to be very informative. And also, you'll have some dating ideas if you do decide to get out there and start dating. There's some dating ideas we talk about. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of good information, and it's muy caliente.
There's a lot of people, a lot of seniors that haven't dated in a while, and they don't really know how to start. So how do you get them to open up?
Yeah, I do something it's called learning to radiate. And actually, I say let's radiate so you can get that date. And so, what that
Mhm.
is a process that we go through in the class that I'm going to have on the 28th of November, where first you do all the self assessment and then you start to break those toxic chains of relationships from the past. Once you clear those chains of the relationships from the past, your heart is open to receive more love. And once you're open, it's also about attitude of gratitude, positive attitudes. Then your heart's open and you can receive love. And when you do your desires of your heart, then you know what you're looking for. A lot of our relationships are kind of like by chance and like, but the the entire process helps you to identify what it is that's your heart's desire. And, if you go on a date with someone and it's not clicking, then you don't have to go on another date with them. And so, learning
Mhm.
those kinds of things, we do an online profile, how to write that. We talk about safety tips when you're dating online or in person. And then we talk about if you do find somebody that you like in the dating process, how to transition into a relationship and what that is. And sometimes people go past that, and as seniors, they do decide to get married again, and that's wonderful if that's their choice. But we also have some people that just want a travel companion, and that's okay. It's what the desires of your heart are. But I do have a process to go through to help people get used to the idea of dating again, and then to help them date, because it is different than, say, 20, 40 years ago when people were dating as single people.
Wow. So y'all talk a lot about on the show.
Hmm.
I know from the last season, you kind of talked about self-satisfaction a little bit, but I think you're going to expound on it a little bit more in this new season. And so why is that important? Thank you for watching the coffee break, and we'll be right back. Why self-satisfaction?
Well, now, when we're talking about self satisfaction, we're talking about a lot of different areas. When you love yourself, self satisfaction can also be called self care. Self care is doing things like going to get your hair done, go watch a movie by yourself, take yourself out to dinner. Things that make you feel good is self satisfaction. And feeling good is important. Now, one of the things we do talk about, it's important to have an orgasm. That is part of self satisfaction. And we do talk about taking care of yourself from everything financially, emotionally, to physically, sexually, spiritually. So when you say self satisfaction, that covers a holistic spectrum. And we do encourage seniors to start to do that. One of the things I talk about in the book and we talk about in the show is adult children. We want to have good relationships with our adult children, but you know what? If you want to start going out dating and having relationships, that's self satisfaction, and it's none of their business what you do. You an adult, they an adult, so let them do their adulting and you do your adulting. It's okay. So, self satisfaction covers a holistic spectrum. And that's something that we as seniors may not be used to because we're used to helping and giving others so much. So it's a new concept to some of us to say it's okay to take care of yourself and be happy with yourself. So, yeah.
So how does self-satisfaction or self-care help when you are entering into a new relationship?
Well, when you are satisfied, that's what the radiating is about. You have a glow about you. You have a joy about you as you go through life. Um, when the reason I say desires of the heart is because when you say want or need, that's coming from a place that's lack of. If you take care of yourself and do a lot of self satisfaction on that spectrum, you're going to have joy and you're going to have more confidence and you're going to have that glow. And when you take care of yourself and you're happy with yourself and you love yourself, that's what's attractive. That's why self care is important.
So you produced this show
Hmm.
that came from somewhere, and then you also wrote a book. So was all of this planned? Did you plan to do the show and then write the book, or you just kind of it just kind of happened?
This is the Lord. I'm telling you. There have been a lot of things that I thought I wanted to do over time, and it just kind of evolved. Like I met Vance, and I had this idea because they have The Bachelor, The Bachelorette. They have all these shows about young people, and I'm a big romantic, and so I was like, we seniors aren't dead. We like romance. We like traveling. We like doing all these things. So I talked with Vance, and Vance was like, yeah, doing something for seniors. So that's kind of how that part evolved. And then I'm a caretaker for my mom, and I was giving, giving, giving. And I was like, you know what? I need to start doing some things that I've wanted to do. And so I thought, I've always wanted to write a book, so I'm going to write a book. Well, I found a publisher and I was going to do a book on generational wellness. And she said, that's not going to sell any books. And I said, okay. So we started talking about the things. The show came up, and she said, well, why don't you do something about seniors? And I was like, you know what? I've been having clients, I've had friends. We've been talking about dating as being more mature. She goes, there you go. Senior dating. That's very trendy right now. And I'm like, yeah. And then the book
Mhm.
just, came together. It just flowed. And now that the book is out there and I'm marketing it, I'm finding there's a whole new world out here. So now I'm actually developing a new second, third career, being a dating coach, author, and TV producer. So God just, they say everything in its time. And I think now is the time, and that I am a senior and I've had this experience. I've been a counselor, I've been an educator, I've done all these things. So now it just comes together. And you know what? I'm having a blast. So thank you, Jesus. So that's how it came
Well,
about.
thank you for tuning in to TAAN TV. We love our viewers and keep watching TAAN TV, the African American Network, where we have a local feel with the global reach. Wow. So I mean, it's much needed. And seniors, sometimes you can't even tell that they're seniors. Seniors are living longer and looking younger, and taking care of themselves,
Right.
on the outside. And so you're helping them to kind of help to take care of themselves on the inside,
Open their
and
hearts.
to
Yeah,
yes. And so, we're super excited
me too.
about your upcoming second season
Yay.
of Set It Off Senior Style. And let's talk about your book a little bit
Okay.
before we go. We got a few more minutes,
Okay.
and let's talk about your book and what people can expect from that. And you got a course coming up on the 28th, so let's talk about that.
Okay. So the book is out on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, and a couple of other platforms. Senior Seeking Soulmate. You can also go to my website, www.seniorseekingsoulmate.com. You can email me, and that's at the number 60seekingsoulmate@gmail.com. And so the book is available, and periodically I put it on for Kindle, which is free. So if you'll check there, sometimes you can even get it ebook, which would be free, on Amazon and Barnes and Noble, and my website. And then the course is called a companion course. So I take the information from the book, and each week, it'll be 4 weeks right now, and then I'm going to go to 6 weeks. But the course on the 28th is going to be 4 weeks, and each week we'll do things like the first week is a lot of self assessment. The second week is looking at the desires of your heart. The third week is the preparation and developing your plan, your goals, and what it is that you want to get out of the dating and relationship process. And then the fourth week is how do we implement this plan? And throughout that time, I'll be coaching, giving out each session to be about 60 to 90 minutes. And then we'll have follow up coaching. And then once the plan is implemented, attendees will get 2 weeks of coaching. So hopefully people will be interested, and they'll go to those places and contact me. You get a free 30-minute consult to see if the course is a fit for you. You can do it all by getting the book, but it goes a lot quicker if you go through the course and then get some individual coaching.
So is this going to be in person or is it going to be online?
On Zoom. It'll be on Zoom. I thought about doing an online course where people can go in and do it themselves, but as seniors, we don't do that real good. So, when COVID happened, we all learned how to do Zoom so we could see our grandbabies and talk to them. So everybody knows how to do Zoom. So we're going to do it on Zoom. It'll be a group session, and then after that, one-on-one.
Okay, so is there a cost for it, or is it a free course, or is it a paid course?
It is a paid course,
Okay.
but what I'm doing is going to be significantly discounted this time around because I had the course before and I wanted to work out a few things. So this is going to be less expensive this time. And then starting in January, I'll start another course and I'll do a 50% discount then. So, yeah.
So if people want to join the course, or take the course, how do they do that?
They go to my website, www.seniorseekingsoulmate.com, or they can go to the email, which is the number 60, seekingsoulmate@gmail.com. Either one of those ways, and say they're interested. I also have a Facebook page, but you can't guess what it is, but it's Senior Seeking Soulmate on Facebook. And they can always DM me there and let me know they're interested. And then I'll do a free consult, see if it's a good fit, see if it's something they want to do.
Okay, so how can they get your book?
That's on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, and it's Senior Seeking Soulmate, and it pops right up. Okay. And it is a bestseller on Amazon, so yeah, okay. It's easy to find.
So how do you get to the bestseller list? How does that happen? How does that work? Because that's pretty quick. You just released it.
When I launched the book, there's some algorithm. So when the book was launched, because of the way we do the launch, a lot of people went in and got the free version on Kindle, and that's how, in my category, it became a bestseller. Actually, I'm an international bestseller because someone bought it out of Australia and somebody bought it out of Germany.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is really, really very timely and a really, really hot topic. So congratulations and kudos on your book and your foresight of, knowing to do this at this point in time and this juncture in your life, and you're doing it at the right time, and people are hungry to learn about how to be successful in relationships all over different social media platforms. That's all people talk about is just different relationships.
We all want love. That's right. Right. And love conquers all. So I say, let's radiate, get that date, and love conquers all.
But I like the fact that yours is, you're taking a positive approach to helping people to build relationships. A lot of people put questions on Facebook, and they're like, kind of, if they do make one mistake, get rid of them or whatever. And you're teaching people how to deal with themselves first before they get into a relationship. So
yeah, because I went through that process. If you get the book, you'll see that my life experience, I really should still be closed to love. I went through a very violent relationship, a violent marriage, had my jaw messed up, had a gun put to my head. I mean, it was really, really awful. And you would think after something as traumatic as that I would still be closed. But it was a process. It was a lot of prayer. And, even though I had those bad experiences, I still want love and companionship in my life. But I did find that I had to work on me first. And so that's why we go through that process and learn to open the heart. So can I tell you about Tyler Perry right quick?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So Tyler Perry, at the end of his play, I was up in Syracuse, New York. At the end of his play, he came out as Medea, and he did this little talk. And part of that talk, he said, don't ever give up on love, because I was really closed at that point. I was newly divorced and from my third marriage, newly divorced. And I was like, okay, that's it, no more. But he said, don't ever give up on love, because every relationship is a lesson in life. And learn from those lessons, because God is preparing you for your person. And if you close your heart and don't keep it open and be open to love, you will miss that opportunity, because God is preparing the one for you. That person is learning their lessons too. And then God is going to make it so that you two come together. But if you're not ready and your heart is closed, it's not going to happen, and you'll miss a wonderful opportunity. So I opened my heart, and I've had some great relationships, and I have a current really wonderful relationship right now.
So we're looking forward to your second season and your first episode premiering on Thursdays at 11 o'clock. And the first one is November 2nd. And so we look forward to checking it out, and y'all check it out. This is a hot, sizzling hot show that's coming up. And so, Charlene, congratulations.
Thank you.
And we look forward to all of the great things that are coming before you.
Thank
And
you.
you've been tuned into the Coffee Break on TAAN TV, the African American Network, where we have a local feel with a global reach. And we're not easy.
This is Dr. Charlene Smith, producer of Setting It Off Senior Style on TAAN TV, the African American Network, where there's a local feel